So I'm going to find out what's going on in Ptown by bringing in Stephan Hengst. Stephan, come on in.
Why, hey, Amber, how you doing tonight?
I'm doing fine. Okay, your position now is so. What is your title
I am
of
the
what you
new
do?
executive director of the Provincetown Business Guild. So before coming to Ptown, I spent many years in the Hudson Valley, but now I'm living in Provincetown full time with my husband, and I'm in charge of Pride, Carnival, Holly Folly, First Light, and then the PBG helps promote everything in between: Girl Splash, Women's Week, Men of Color Weekend, Women of Color Weekend, you name it. So there's always something happening in Provincetown.
All right. So tell us more about the Hudson Valley. A lot of my viewers don't know exactly where the Hudson Valley is, and what did you do there?
My husband and I started a website in the Hudson Valley called Big Gay Hudson Valley because that's definitely what it is there. We started the site back in 2008, and we just started it to share information and to produce events and help keep lots of people connected. Amber, I know you've got lots of friends in the Hudson Valley. So,
and even ISIS Vermouth.
even Isis Vermouth. So, if you, for those who don't know Isis, she's a performer, drag queen, personality, you name it, all of the above, based in Poughkeepsie. My husband and I lived in Poughkeepsie for many years. And if you really think about the Hudson Valley, we more or less consider it Beacon, New York to about Kingston, New York, at least the area that we covered. But it goes all the way up to Albany, all the way down to New York City. There's a lot of homos in there, and we were just really happy to be able to produce events, bring people together, and get people meeting one another. So we're still running Big Gay Hudson Valley, just phased it back a little bit. But you can check us out on Instagram or go to biggayhudsonvalley.com to see what's happening there. And we're really excited to bring some of the amazing talents that we met in the Hudson Valley to Provincetown and vice versa. So, we like to think of it as a rainbow connection between the Hudson Valley and Provincetown.
What prompted you to move from the Hudson Valley to Provincetown?
It was a crazy thing. My husband and I came out to celebrate a friend's 40th birthday last year over New Year's. And while we were here, it happened to be First Light. And we were walking around town and ran into a few friends who said, "Hey, have you heard about this job at the Provincetown Business Guild?" And I said, "No, tell me more." So two people told me about it, then another person told me about it, then another person told me about it. And everyone was like, "Oh my God, you need to apply for this job." And you know what it's like when the universe tells you something. And it felt like the mothership was calling me back to Provincetown. So after having spent the summer of 1998 here as a houseboy working at it was serving as a houseboy and working over at the Cafe Blasé. I don't know if you remember the Cafe Blasé. So I decided to make the leap and come back, and 25 years after I first hung out here I am again. And, now I have the opportunity to really help bring our queer community together and produce all sorts of great events and continue to ensure that Provincetown is always the gayest place on earth.
Oh my goodness! It certainly is in August when I'm there. That's for sure.
Well, between you and Ridgefield and John and Biscuit, everyone's here.
What were you doing in the Hudson Valley professionally before you took this job on?
I was the director of marketing and communications for the Culinary Institute of America in Hyde Park. So lots of great food there. I sold real estate for a little while, and then I was at the CIA for 12 years. Sold real estate for 2 years during the pandemic, and then all of a sudden the opportunity to come to Ptown popped up, so we jumped on it.
Well, how exciting! What a life change, of course. How did you find a place to live in Provincetown? I hear that just like everywhere else, that's difficult.
Yeah, I fortunately worked in marketing and communications for many years, and it was all about social media and telling the whole world I was looking for a place to live. The funniest thing is, we found an apartment here after 11 weeks of searching. We found an apartment that we moved into on May 1st. In the month of March, we lived somewhere else. The month of April, we lived somewhere else. May 1st, we have a place now through September 15th. But everywhere I went, I told people about it. The Boston Globe wrote about it. The New York Times wrote about it. The Provincetown Independent wrote about it. Everyone was talking about it on Facebook. So even now to this day, when I meet people around town, they're like, "Oh my God, Stephen, so great to meet you. Did you find a place to live?" And it's like, "Oh my God, I'm so sorry to hear about it." But we were very fortunate. We found a great place. So we're here till, we've got at least through September, and then we move into another place in October. And, we're generally going to be here more or less year round with a couple of stints back to the Hudson Valley to throw a few parties and events there. And other than that, Provincetown is home now. So
Oh,
it's quite a way to flip your world around and go, oh my God, I'm going to move to the place I typically vacation. And it's a
yeah.
really exciting way to do it. You meet lots of great people. And the most incredible part is it's like the cross section of all of our worlds. So to have worked all over the US like I did, and to have so many friends come through Ptown, I can't turn around without seeing friends from San Francisco, Portugal, DC, you name it. Like everyone comes through Ptown. So it's just a really great place to reconnect with great friends.
What is it about P-Town? Is it the location? Is it what is it that makes it special?
I mean, P-Town is just a beautiful space because it really gives you, for queer people, it gives a chance for us all to come together in a place where, particularly in today's day and age, after the news of this week, and we're all worried about what happens next, it gives you a place where you kind of live the everyday life that most people live day to day, as in you're surrounded by generally other gay people and gay businesses and supportive communities. And depending on where you live in the United States, you may or may not have that. In Burlington, Vermont, you've got a very open and accepting community, and in the Hudson Valley, we do as well. And in Provincetown, it's a community quite unlike any other of how open and accepting it is. But P-Town's queer history goes back really far. It actually dates all the way back to 1898, where there was a hurricane that blew through Provincetown, decimated the Portuguese fishing industry, and basically left the town in shambles. All through the 1800s, it had been built up on fishing and whaling and things like blubber and whale oil. And the town developed this incredibly beautiful infrastructure with architecture and a lot of commercial resources. And once the fishing industry was destroyed by the storm, it was like, what happens here next? And there were all of these very unfortunate Portuguese widows who owned all these beautiful homes, who realized they were in a beautiful spot at the end of the world with great light and beautiful landscapes. And some very entrepreneurial, creative folks went back to New York City and they said, you know what? We're going to invite all the creatives, the writers, the painters, the authors, the poets. We're going to invite them all to Provincetown and create an art colony here. And you know what happened when you went to the west side of Manhattan in 1901 and you recruited creatives? Most of them were gay men. And in the early 1900s, no one spoke about that. But they all ended up back here in Provincetown. They all opened up art schools. They all started renting rooms from the Portuguese widows, which created the guest house culture here in P-Town. And it allowed this incredible community full of artists and creatives to grow, blossom, and expand here. And, even in 2022, that culture of creativity and just having the opportunity to live your life to its fullest, to be your most creative best self, whether you're gay, straight, bi, trans, black, white, purple, no one really cares here. We all just want to support one another. So it's a really great community that brings so many people together to live their best lives. So,
Oh
I
my
think
goodness.
that's what really creates the magic here to this day.
Oh my goodness! Thank you so much for that history lesson. I didn't know that quite in that detail. Thank you so much,
Yeah,
Stephen.
you're very welcome.
We got lots more to talk about. Stephen, come back in. Hey,
Yeah.
Stephen.
Hey, Amber, I'm here. So,
Yes, yes. So Debbie's in your neighborhood tonight.
yeah,
She's a
she's literally right down
wonderful
the
person.
street. I was going to go check her out for a little while, and then we had the opportunity to pop on. So, unfortunately, I'm missing her tonight, but I'm glad to hear that she's doing so great. I know she's got a packed house tonight.
Oh well. If you could get a chance to talk to her, just tell her Amber sends her love, and that. Oh, she's just great. She's just
When we
great.
jump off the air,
All
I'm
right.
going to run down the street.
So we've talked about the carnival, which is that's the biggest weekend or week of the year in Provincetown. But what are some of the other weeks that you celebrate in Provincetown?
Yeah, I mean, every week's a great time to come to Provincetown, whether it be January, February, July, August, September, or October. So, there's always something happening here. But, what's coming up next is next weekend we have Independence Day. So we've got your traditional 4th of July activities. We've got a big parade and fireworks show. But then we also have Got Mick and Violet Chachki, who are going to be doing a big show at Town Hall. The Crown and Anchor has a whole week full of dance parties with some amazing DJs and performers planned. So that'll all be happening all next week during the 4th of July.
Excuse me. The Crown and Anchor has new owners. Is that right?
Yeah, Jonathan and Paulo, they are really doing an amazing job. I may have spent a few hours there today developing this radiant glow, sitting in the pool while having a few frozen Aperol spritzes, which were pretty spectacular. But the really interesting thing they're doing at the Crown and Anchor is that they're building a culture that really supports the local entertainers that are here in town. And so in addition to having all the big names that everyone loves, like Farla Jean Merman and Dina Martina, they've also got a number of local talents who've really been developing some spectacular shows. And so, and some of the most incredible diversity Provincetown has ever seen. And we're really excited about the next era of young queer visitors coming into town with, everyone who's always come here. But, we're really trying to create a whole host of new events and new opportunities to come to town. Yes, next week is Bear Week. But even in Bear Week, you're seeing a lot of new producers, a lot of new events. We're doing an incredible Otter Pop pool party over at the Crown. We have Nina West, who is making her Provincetown premiere. She's going to be coming into town on July 14th, doing a big show over at Town Hall.
Now Nina just finished a tour of Hairspray. She's still a national tour of Hairspray.
Yeah, Nina's been incredible. So she's been in Hairspray where, we're hoping maybe John Waters pops in and says hi to her while she's here. And then next week, for Bear Week, we also have Brian Sims in town, our state senator, Julian Sear.
Brian Sims, he's been on the show several times.
Yeah, Brian's amazing. And we're throwing a big Bear Week wiener roast with him at the Land's End Inn in Provincetown, which is also under new ownership. So lots of new owners, lots of new energy coming into town. It's a really exciting time to be here. But if you go to ptown.org or follow us at Visit Ptown on Instagram, you can see the full calendar of everything coming up this season. And then, of course, we're headed directly into Carnival, which kicks off.
Okay, well, let's back up. Time out. Let's back up to Bear Week.
You want to know more about Brian?
Please tell him Amber says hello. He flirts with me. I
bet he does.
I'm sorry he didn't win his race for the Democratic nominee for lieutenant governor, but we're going to hear more from him. But Bear Week, okay, there are probably people watching tonight who have no idea what the Bear Week. What's that? What does that entail? Tell me about
bears, otters, wolves. It's guys generally look a little more like me, maybe have a little bit more roundness to them, probably some facial hair. I've been coming to Bear Week for 20 years. And in my opinion, it's now the second biggest week of the year in Provincetown after Carnival. But, we've got over 100,000 people that come to town for Bear Week. It's been happening for over 20 years. You've got, huge circuit parties. You've got really great day parties on the beach. You've got, shows at Town Hall. You've got, hikes in the woods, literally with the bears. So it's Bear Week, I think, is one of the most tightest community focused weeks that we have here, where people have been coming for 20 years. They expect to see their friends. People come from all around the world. But that's the case with every week here. You've always got, you always come for Carnival. I always came for Bear Week. You've got people that always come for Girl Splash or for Family Week. And it's part of everyone's annual tradition and their rituals of life. So it's where they get to come together with their community. It's where they get to share great ideas. It's where they get to build great new friends. And, that's what makes Provincetown such a special space.
Okay, Rocco Zamboni, one of our regular viewers and guests, says, do the bears poop in the woods?
Well, we don't have too many woods around, but they may poop in the dunes. So
poop in the dunes.
The biggest kitty litter box. They just cover it up.
I'm thinking the worst job in Provincetown in the summer, especially during Bear Week, would be the plumber to unclog drains. The pools.
So you're just talking back hair, Amber. I see. There's also food delivery. So those poor guys who all come in, and guys and girls who come in from the food delivery companies, They drop off a lot of food during Bear Week.
All right. So you talked about Bear Week and Independence. So you mentioned some other a girls' splash, or what was that you said?
There's Girl
About?
Splash, which comes toward the end of July. There's Women's Week.
Well, okay. Talk about what's Girls' Splash. What's Girls' Splash?
Girl Splash is Girl Splash is part of another organization called Provincetown for Women, and my organization, the PBG, works really closely with all of the theme weeks to help bring more diversity, bring more visitors into town. Girl Splash is just as it is, a lot of events really targeted toward women's. But the lesbian community here in Ptown is huge, and just as we've got Bear Week for the boys, we've got Women's Week, we've got Girl Splash, we've got Women of Color, we have Men of Color Weekend, which just came 2 weekends ago. There's an opportunity for everyone to come to Ptown, and we also have a winter version of Bear Week called Out of Hibernation. We've got Mates Leather, which is in October. We have Snowbound, which is in February. There's Art Provincetown in October. There's the Provincetown Food and Wine Festival in November, and then in early December, end of December, we also produce Holly Folly and First Light for the holiday season. But the biggest event of the year is Carnival.
And we're going to talk about Carnival in our next segment. Okay, so let's talk about Carnival.
So much to talk about.
Now last week we talked about it was Over the Rainbow was the theme for Carnival. What's the theme this year for Carnival?
This year it's Monsters, Myths, and Legends, and we've been working with an incredible artist here in town, Eric Lesh, who did all the poster art for this year. Check him out at EDL Draws, and you can actually check out at Visit Ptown. You can see the logo for this year too. We are celebrating all the monsters, myths, and legends that made us queer, and we are so excited to bring Carnival back. It all starts. We're going to be starting on August 9th, and we run all the way through. August 13th, and run all the way through August 20th. So
don't scare me. I got the wrong information.
One more week. But we've got over 20 different parties that happen.
Okay, the theme, Monsters, Myths, and Legends. Someone suggested that was because of, was it American Horror Story that did a series there in Ptown?
Yeah, American Horror Story shot here a few years ago. People loved watching that. I think that, the themes let everyone be creative. They let everyone have a good time. We want people to really build up those costumes. We do a tremendous parade here. This is the first year in 3 years the parade is back. It's going to be on August 15th.
Yes.
So everyone's really excited about that. 150,000 people come into town for Carnival.
It's amazing.
Every year on Cape Cod.
I've been in the parade as a participant, I think twice with Michael Wilson and Winter Rendezvous, and that's just phenomenal. Just that the length of it and the people, and then a lot of times we just watch the parade, and that's fun as well. It's just a great day.
Yeah, and it all kicks off on the 13th. It goes 7 days. You can visit ptown.org/carnival. You can see the full lineup. We've got parties that start Sunday and a big cruise and theme events. We've got Paige Turner, who you may know. She's coming back with her Slurp pool party, which is going to be at the boat slip. We've got the Let's Get Crackin' cruise, the Brass Key pool party, which gets very naughty. The boys of Trenton Ducati often show up to that.
I've been to that.
So you're a frequent shopper.
You want to get into the pool early. Afterwards, it gets kind of cloudy.
I don't know what you're talking about. Well, yeah.
It does.
It's definitely a big thing. And then we're super excited. We've got Justin Vivian Bond as our Grand Marshal this year. And they are going to be
tell us more about that person.
Justin Vivian Bond. I was a huge fan of the film Short Bus. You may know Kiki and Herb. Justin Vivian Bond has been a true outstanding leader in the world of trans rights, and we're so excited to have them here for Carnival. They're going to be doing a live show at Town Hall on August 17th. So it's going to be called Oh Mary, It's Carnival Week. And Justin Vivian Bond will be bringing their live band. So it's going to be an amazing night that night. They'll be in the parade at the front as our Grand Marshal. We've got a big fancy Cadillac they'll be riding in. And then, we just have literally events that go 24/7 for 7 days straight. So it's always a great time. It's a wonderful party.
Oh,
And we're so excited that, you know, as with the pandemic sort of changes and we get used to living with COVID, the mask restrictions are gone here in P-Town. We're just asking people to be smart and obviously keep an eye on their own health. And if they feel funny, don't go out. But we want everyone to have a great time. We're really excited to have the first real normal carnival in 3 years come back. So
I
it's going to be a
know.
lot of fun.
Our group is ready.
We can't wait to welcome
ready.
you. But I tell
All
everyone,
right.
check out ptown.org/carnival. Get your tickets early. The pool party with the Trenton Ducati boys always sells out. We have 1,000 people that come to it. So, visit, book your tickets, and plan your week, because it's one of those times where everything sells out. So just come on in, have a great time, enjoy the parade, and just, wear a smile in your best costumes.
We talk. I love it when someone says, "Oh, I've got the best costume," and then they show up and 20 other people have the same costume.
I know. It's a lot of creativity required.
Oh, definitely. And we talk about all the gay activities and the drag activities, but you also have the dune tours, you have the art galleries, you've got wonderful restaurants, you've got the ghost tours, you've got a lot of stuff going on there in Provincetown that, if you're not one to be social and go out, to the clubs, there's plenty of other things to do, and plus enjoy that beautiful view off
Yeah,
of.
no, absolutely. The Friday night art stroll is one of my favorite things to do in the gallery district in the East End. There's so many cute shops to walk around in. The dune tours are spectacular. They're run by this amazing couple of bears who have had the company, Rob and Rob have had the company in their family for years. We went out last weekend and we did it, and we had an absolute amazing time, in these dunes right here.
Yeah. And the schooner, we've gone on the schooners, we've done the whale watches. There's just a lot of things to do. Well, Stephan, thank you so much. We've got your address up there for people to check out P-Town, but I can't wait to see you in just a few short weeks, and
Okay.
we'll connect. All right, thank you
Amber,
so
let
much,
me know when you're
Stephan.
there. I'll save a great big bear hug for you.
Oh, don't tease.
Oh,
Oh, thank you, Stephan. Thank you so
Amber.
much. Bye-bye. Oh my gosh, I'm just so excited. Oh, thank you.